So, we appreciate you making the run.
Yeah.
Appreciate you
Giving us content.
Doing our show for us. Appreciate
absolutely.
that. So we're joined, Jake Brown, obviously Lloyd, producer Lloyd, and Jay Mitch Coes from his home in Houston, Tejas. There he is. There he is. Let's get this thing rolling, dude.
Yeah, let's do it.
Crazy run. Great ride. You know, you came on the show middle of the season, and I believe it was the time where the offense was kind of, up and down a little bit. Or doing some things, not to the liking of all the fans, obviously. But you said, the team is very close. Y'all are gonna figure it out. Obviously, take time. Then postseason hits, and it's the team that everybody saw at the beginning of the year, and a team that y'all knew y'all were, and y'all ran through the postseason. Obviously, Little Rock gave you a little bit of some heart attacks.
Little rock in the shoe.
Yeah, but you got to get through that. Then after that, y'all rolled through the postseason. Talk about a little bit of the playoff ride, just the ups and downs, and just kind of overcoming some of that kind of stuff. And then talk about when y'all, because it felt like when y'all got to Omaha, it was almost like switch got flipped. Like, hey,
yeah, for sure.
This is not. We're not just here just to hang out and have a good time. We'll do that after.
Yeah.
Which y'all did that too.
Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy ride. I mean, it felt like it was 3 days long and 3 months long at the same time. I mean, when you're talking about the first game against Little Rock and then DBU, I mean, that's kind of when our team broke open was, I think, that game at DBU, which, I mean, that was when our best ball, I think, started to get played. And, I mean, take it into the Supers, beat a West Virginia team that I thought was really good.
Really good.
Really good, and we beat them kind of handedly.
Yeah, stomped them.
Yeah, and then take that momentum into Omaha, and we get Arkansas game one, which I think they should reseed. I think they should reseed once you get there. But we had Arkansas game one, and we knew, like...
Reseed?
Yeah. But we knew that Arkansas was the team to beat. Like
right.
we figured, like, winning game one was really important in setting us up for the rest of the tournament. So, I mean, we approached that game. I mean, you treat every game like it's the same.
Yeah, but that one felt a little different.
you know when you're playing one of those games. Like when you're talking Sunday game against Tennessee, you're talking the Arkansas game right there, the second or third game against Little Rock. You know what games mean a little bit more. And so, I mean, the focus level of that entire week just leading up to knowing we're playing Arkansas game one, it was unreal. And then everybody showed up, and yeah, like you said, there was kind of a switch flip there. Yeah,
you could see it because like you're watching, y'all playing really good. Like West Virginia, like you said, like y'all played because West Virginia's a good team.
Yeah, I agree.
And they went into that regional and they stomped them. Like they played well. Like, and I was like, hey, this is gonna be, a little tougher than I think. If you just look at the names on the game on the box scores, like it's gonna be a little tougher than probably people think. And y'all did what y'all needed to. Then you got to Omaha. And y'all go through that game. You get root out early in the game. And then, y'all end up playing. It was a very well-played baseball game. Not a ton of runs. Pitched well, played good defense, got the hits early when you needed to. And then y'all move on. And then you go play UCLA. You have the rain delay, which, it sucks because Ianson gave up the three spot. And then Bear Jones hits the homer. And you're like, and then Ianson started kind of locked it in. I was like, boy, this is. Yeah. And then it shuts it down. But then y'all didn't miss a beat. Y'all just kept getting to that next threshold. Yeah, y'all flipped the switch. I mean, it was good to watch.
It was something special. It was fun to be a part of, no doubt.
There was a moment. Was it UCLA? No. Pinch hit.
Arkansas, the elimination
game against Arkansas. You come in there. Obviously, you've been doing it all year. We talked about that all year. You come in the game, bases loaded. Walk me through, I guess, that moment and then leading up to that moment.
Yeah, I mean, the moment was special, but the kind of what led up to that was I talked about this in that interview that kind of blew up when I talked about being scholars.
Yeah.
We forgot
to mention that.
Yeah.
Hey, Scholar Athletes came out today.
Academic All-American.
That's it. Look at that.
But
who would have thought?
Yeah.
Y'all laugh at me now. Laugh at me now.
But so during that interview, what I was trying to get at was that there's a very detailed set of what every player needs to do to help us win that certain day. And then mine for that game, it was be ready to come in against. Then there was a list of people. It was like Fouch, Geichel, sort of the better Arkansas right-handed relievers. And so I spent kind of the whole game just visualizing, seeing Geichel go down to the pen. I'm like, yeah, I mean, if we get in a close game, like, they're going to bring him in. He's their guy. So just kind of walking through that visualization process and staying with it and knowing that whenever his foot touched the mound, I was going to be ready to go in that situation. And then Coach told me, he was like, if they walk Josh right here, you're going to hit for Stanfield. And so it was kind of like a quick turnaround. It was like a get ready, you're about to go in.
Right.
But also kind of liked that.
Yeah, I was about to say, you'll probably like that.
Yeah, I didn't have time to really get nervous or anything. Yep. It was just like, it was strap it on, compete, and then I was in there, and it was just it was a good moment because it was, was it bases loaded?
Bases
2 outs?
loaded, yeah.
And it was like, I didn't have to do something crazy. Like, I didn't have to hit a homer for us to be in a successful spot. I was just trying to get it to the next guy because it was 1-0.
Yeah, I believe it was 1-0.
I think it was 1-0.
Yeah.
So it was like, as long as I touched first base,
yep,
I did a good job. So I was going to work a count, I was going to do something good, and then it was a 1-1 count, and I got a pitch that I could do damage to, and was able to put a good swing on it, and it felt really good. And
your dad loved it. Showed him all over.
I don't know. Yeah, that swing felt really good, and I feel like it gave us a little bit of confidence that we would need later in that game. That, like, hey, we're never out of this thing.
No doubt.
And that showed later on for sure.
Without a doubt. Jay, you got one?
Yeah, I would love to stay right here down memory lane and talk a little bit more of it. But let me take a pit stop on where you brought us just a second ago. Please explain to me your thoughts of this reseeding process. I would love to hear how you feel about it, because I'm going to go ahead and guess. I mean, obviously, I don't know any names, but you're probably not the only one on the team that thinks this way. So how do you think it should be?
Yeah, well, I think going into the thing, us and Arkansas are the two best teams in the College World Series. And I think when you look at the seasons that each of us had, and then the matchups playing against each other, like, we're two very hard teams to beat. And I think putting us two against each other in the first round on the same side of the bracket, I mean, I feel like I'm no money expert, but if the NCAA reseeds us there, you have us and Arkansas in the final series, I feel like you make a little bit more money from that.
I wouldn't disagree.
And not just that, I feel like the two best teams deserve to play for the national championship.
Right.
And that's not knocking Coastal at all, because I think they're an incredible team. As you saw, the games that we played were 1-run and 2-run games.
Yeah.
But I think over the course of the season, the super regionals, they get matched up whatever on a selection day. And then I think as, like, higher seeds start getting eliminated, maybe when you get to the final 8, you reseed it.
Let me ask you this then, just because I'm literally just asking. Do you think the Elite 8 or the Final 4 in basketball should be reseeded?
I don't know, because it's hard to tell, because it's not the same as baseball where you're playing in series. Like, for the Final 4, I mean...
Well, by the time we get to these, you don't play those in series. You don't play till series. Once you get to the final series or the...
I guess the argument with that would be they don't seed the college baseball, like, postseason the same way they seed March Madness. Like, they don't do one seed is playing the last team that's into the tournament type thing. It's not like, I guess, rated that way like they do.
Well, you pretty much are inside your regional, and then that team moves on.
Well, right. But, like, the number 1 overall seed theoretically would have to play the 64th team rated team, and it's not always set up that way. That's just adding.
It's not. Well, I'm literally just asking, because it's also not set up that way in basketball, really, right? Like, you're playing one against a 16 seed, and that's 4 different times, and then they move through to get to the end, right?
Right, but those 16 seeds are the worst teams rated the worst teams in the last 4 teams.
This is the first time that, like, it's reseeding has ever even crossed my mind because of the way that it ended up being.
It's just right.
I think, like, it could also just be a freak example where us and Arkansas are matched up right
and
there.
It wasn't necessarily because you didn't want to play Arkansas. It was just y'all were the 2 best teams in the tournament. Yeah,
I mean, I agree. I think if you looked at it the way it shook out, it seemed to be that the 2 best teams were playing each other first. But, like, I mean, I'm just throwing shit out there. What if Vandy makes it there? What if Texas makes it there?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It could be different, too, because...
They would have been matched up with either y'all, but they would have been there as well. Then we can say, well, how are we going to do that, too? That's the only reason why I'm
and it is different,
wondering
too,
what are your thoughts on it.
Even last year, I think Texas A&M and Tennessee were the 2 best teams there.
Right.
And they ended up playing against each other. And you look at that, like, LSU, Florida could be the 2 best teams outside of Wake in that.
Right.
And then you can go back, Ole Miss, Oklahoma. Was that the one before?
That who it was? Yeah, I mean, I think that's right. Yes, that's right. And then Mississippi State
Yeah,
after that.
The one goofy thing I think they do that I really just don't. I'm like kind of in the same mindset as you, but I'm more so focused on like the regionals and the super regionals. Because in the regionals, if you remember, you guys ended up playing to what is a game 7 of a regional. Mm-hmm. Shouldn't the higher seed team and or the home host be the home team in a game 7 of a regional?
Yeah, you would think
right?
so.
Like that doesn't really make much sense to me. Same thing when y'all play a super regional. Hey man, look, if you want to be the home team, play better and get the home seed.
Yeah, that was my thing.
Better and get that situation. Like y'all should be whoever's the higher seeded team should be the home team throughout the regional or throughout the super regional. Like that to me doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no doubt. You play your whole season trying to get a top 16.
Why else are we here? Yeah,
right.
And then we were home team for one game, and West Virginia was home team for one game. It's like it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. No, it does. It takes away the home field. It takes away what you did during the regular season, in a sense.
But I mean, playing at the box.
Yeah.
I mean, it is already a home field advantage in its own, but then actually being
it is, but you should still be the home team in terms of the book too. You know?
Yeah, because think about like not everywhere is Alex Box Stadium.
No, there's nowhere.
Yeah,
nowhere.
So exactly. I mean, it's different.
Yeah. Jay, you got another one?
Yeah, I'll go back to I guess I really want to know for you in terms of a season, because I do think guys like you, the way you approach the season, this isn't about what talent you do or you don't have. We all know how super talented you are. But like for guys like you that are asked to play a specific role, at what point in the year, because you already told us a lot about like the Goon Squad situation, how you guys just literally embodied that shit, took it and ran with it and rolled with it. Like at what point of the year did you really kind of like let go of maybe like legitimate personal goals, whatever they may have been, and you just said, you know what, let me just star in the role that I'm asked to do? And how hard was it to do that? And because I don't think people understand, like that's the shit that it really does take for championship situations to kind of happen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, kind of the first weekend, I mean, I knew that wasn't exactly going to play every single day, and I mean, I was fine with that. I think this next year will be a little bit different. But me and our strength coach would stay kind of towards the end of the dugout where I'd be getting ready to go in and pinch hit. And it was almost a joke. Like, we called, like, Lou Williams, 6th Man of the Year, and Sean Livingston. And we kind of had an inside joke going with us, too, that it was like, all right, Lou Will coming off the bench. Here we go. So, I mean, it was funny. But, like, at the end of the day, it's like I've been wanting to play here my entire life. So, I mean, I'm not going to – like, if you would have told me 8 years ago, hey, you might not play every day, but you're going to be in there and you'll be a big part of why we win, I would have been like, yeah, sign me up.
Take that every day.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm glad that I'm able to do something to help the team win regardless of what my personal situation is.
Yeah. And the beauty of it is, I had this conversation last night. After the 23 season, and they're going into that next year, they lost a ton of dudes, right? Like, ton of impactful guys on that team that were seniors or draft eligible, whatever it may be. So 2024 was like, it was a lot of transition because you had guys who maybe weren't necessarily a big part of that run, didn't really kind of find their leadership role yet, right? And so you kind of had a little bit of a disconnect. That was your freshman year, a little bit of like a disconnect of like maybe some team chemistry, right? I'm not saying it wasn't everybody hate each other. That's not what I'm saying. It was just I didn't feel like a championship chemistry. And then every conversation I had with everybody on the team this year felt like, oh, it felt a little different this year as opposed to the way it did last year. And y'all go and win it, and y'all have a lot of those core pieces coming back. How important is that, especially going in the offseason, knowing what to expect, having another good transfer and recruiting class coming in? How important is that for y'all to be able to be here? A guy like you from Louisiana, born and raised here, all they did was want to play here and win one. How important is it for you to like be able to pass that down to the younger guys?
It's huge. I mean, because the people that are coming back, a lot of the returning pieces like me, Steven, a lot of the guys like that have seen what it's like to get bounced, and I've also seen what it's like to go out and bounce everybody.
Right.
So having that kind of experience and being able to help the younger guys with that, we know what to expect, whether – we know what losing feels like. We know what winning feels like. And we know now what it takes to be a winner. And, like, day one, meeting one, all that we talked about was being tough and being together. And I think the day or maybe the week that the freshmen moved in last year and the transfers got to campus, there was a gathering. And it's just like little stuff like that maybe doesn't seem like much when it's July 15th.
Yeah, right.
But then you look back and it's a year later and you're out there competing for Omaha with a bunch of people that you've only known for about 10 months.
Right.
And it's like the ability that this team had to be so together is actually insane. Like,
correct.
There are people on this team that I'm going to talk to for the rest of my life that I've only known for 8 to 10 months.
Yeah, which is wild, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And that's something that we're going to take a lot of pride in carrying over to the next year, no doubt. Is like I've already been talking with Case, and like whenever the freshmen move in, we're going to have them all get together. We're going to cook for them.
That's what I was going to ask. Who's the ringleader in that? Like, I guess who was it this year, and then who's going to? I'm assuming you're next year, but
yeah, I mean this year it was like a mixture. Like Josh, Jared, the get together was at Jared and Monster's house. They lived together, so we got everyone together there. We all hung out, had a good time, whatever. Just something to build the chemistry from day one. So I guess that'll be me and Case and Evans.
Nice.
He'll be my roommate. So us two and like Steven will be back.
Are you staying in the same spot? Like, do you have to move every year?
No, I'm in the same spot.
That's a
So
good
I'm
spot,
thankful for that. Saves a lot of hassle.
No doubt.
God, yeah, it's the worst.
It's the
thing
worst,
ever is
dude.
moving.
And you always lose something in the move. You know what I mean? Like, something for some reason just doesn't show up at your next place.
Well, yeah,
And
because
it's
you
like,
run out of time because everybody waits until the day of where it's like, oh, it's time to do this. Like, we're getting kicked out, essentially. It's like, I'm going to forget something.
yeah, no doubt.
And it's like, who's the...
We had those. No, it's gonna age. We had those big ass like TVs that like not the flat screen. Obviously.
Yeah, the old school.
like the old school sit down.
big booty TVs.
The big boy TVs, and we're on the second.
No, I said the big booty TV.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
big booty TVs, no doubt, dude. Like, and this thing was like going out, right? And we're freshmen in WCA, which the freshman places now are like
Yeah, they're
100 times better. But like you'd have to slap the side of it, like it would go like, straight line, and you slap the side of it, and it would come back on, right? So it was like it was cooked, and so I was like, man, fuck this TV. So when we moved out after our freshman year, and we had to do it in the postseason. So your freshman year, you have to get out of those freshman dorms like.
While you're still playing ball.
We're in the supers. So like we're moving out and playing at the same time. So we're trying to figure out this TV. I said, we're throwing this shit over the fucking side of the balcony. And we threw this over the balcony and it exploded in the middle of the thing, and we threw this shit away. I was like, moving sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks. Jay, you got one for him?
Yeah.
Mikey just admitted to a whole bunch of crimes.
Yeah, you damn freshman.
As a crime? What's a crime?
Littering.
No, I threw it away. The trash can in the dumpster.
Ate it?
Yeah.
Jake, I want to ask you about the championship series. Coastal Carolina's pitching staff, did you feel like it was not as good, or better than advertised by looking at their numbers or looking at what you knew of them prior to actually playing them?
I think it was about as advertised. I mean, when you have their Friday and Saturday guy, Fluky and Morrison, those guys were with absolute studs. And so we knew it was going to be a hard-fought game. We knew that we were going to go out there and have to string a couple runs together differently than maybe we would like to. But they were really good. I think what helped us is once we got Morrison out of the game early in that last game, maybe the bullpen wasn't together as much as like a team that we've played, like teams that we've played in conference.
Yeah.
But as far as starting pitching, like those guys were not good. They were great pitchers.
Yeah.
And I mean, Fluky held us on our heels the entire game, and then even the bullpen pieces that they had game one. I mean, we won 1-0 because we had Cade.
That's what I was about to ask. How wild, like people like the back and forth games are awesome, right? Oh, we won 7-6, and we scored runs, and they scored runs, and we scored runs.
You go from Arkansas to Coastal.
Yeah, those 1-0 games though, like as a player, like those are awesome because you're not scoring, they're not scoring, and every little thing matters. Like, talk me through that one. Like, you're like he's throwing a CG in Omaha. That performance is obviously legendary. But winning a 1-0 game in the first game of the 3-game series, like, talk through that game a little bit.
It's crazy just because like there were a lot of times where either team could have broke it open. Maybe
Right.
like I know there were times where Cade got into trouble, like runners first and second, no outs. He has the bunt play that he made. But, like, there were times throughout that game where it's just like, all right, it's about to happen. It's about to happen.
Yeah.
It's about to happen. And then just never happens. So, like, you're on your toes the whole game, just knowing every single pitch could be the one.
And you know what else is crazy is the umpire was unbelievably tight. And usually when you have a tight umpire, there's more runs that are scored.
Yeah.
And 1 run. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's
only
like,
10 strikeouts for Katie. He's pretty disappointed in himself.
yeah, he said it wasn't very pretty when he walked into the locker room, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about.
1-0 CG is pretty to me.
Yeah.
That's
Jeez,
gorgeous.
I'll take this
what
one
more
on
do
the
you want?
lead into game 2 all day. What you talking about?
Yeah, what's
over?
Jay, you got another one?
Yeah, and like I guess we'll walk back another step, and you kind of like hinted on a little bit what I was gonna ask anyway. In terms of it being a 1-0 game and it being so tight and there being so much suspense, can you walk me through probably the 8th and the 9th inning in that second game against Arkansas when it was super tight, and then how things probably jumped from high to low and all over the place with those 2 plays that were not made essentially at the end of the game?
Yeah, I mean, emotions were high. I can't remember what inning we brought in Chase, but it was like the 7th or the 8th maybe.
I think it was the 8th. He closed it out. Did he close that game out?
No, Jacob Myers.
No, I mean, yeah, they didn't. I mean, they walked it off. So
No, I know. Oh, I know. But like, who was the last guy?
Jacob
So
Myers
Myers
was
was the last guy on. You're right. You're right. So I think it was.
yeah, but
the
Myers
7th.
threw like 1 or 2 pitches though, right?
I know, but I think
Yeah.
it was the 7th. That's
But
what
yeah,
I'm saying.
so
Yeah.
whenever Chase comes into the game, I know we're in the outfield and we're all meeting up, and at this point it's me, Derek, and Josh out there because I had pinched hit for Stanfield, and we're bringing in, and it's almost like we're too nervous to even talk to each other.
Yeah, I wasn't how that conversation go.
We were like too nervous to even talk to each other, and then at the end of the day, we're looking at each other around, and we're like,
What else
all
you
right.
want?
I mean, we got it though. Like we got it right. like we just can't lose, right? We're not just gonna let that happen. So you're definitely tight out there, a little tighter than normal. But then we talk, we get back, and then you're finally in your position, and the game starts again.
Yeah.
It's the waiting around.
Yeah.
Is way worse than playing. But when you're playing in the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th of a close game like that, and it's going up, it's going down. Like Chase did good, kind of had a little down. Then we bring in Jacob. They get the single that
Ambush fastball. That's all that guy was doing.
Yeah.
He was not sitting on. The announcer's like, "Oh, he's sitting on slider." I was like, "No, he wasn't.
no, he wasn't.
He was sitting on
He was
100,
sitting on
and the slider
fastball
just
and he
ran
got
into the
90,
barrel."
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean that hit happens, and I mean it's a little deflating at first, but then at the same time we remembered who we were. Like this is something like if the entire season has led up to anything, it's this. Like so there was never like a falsity of confidence at all in the dugout, and we're going back in, and then Monster comes up to bat when it's 1st and 2nd, 1 out, and we're like, oh well, this is just a recap of Hoover last year. Like I thought Monster was going to have a big fly right there and walk it off, and then he hits the ground ball. They don't turn the double play, and then does that bring up Luis right after? That brings up Luis.
Yeah.
Hits the ball hard.
Tough play for an
Hey,
outfielder.
were
bitch
y'all
of a
that
play.
surprised that he didn't even try to turn a double play?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I have my theory on what happened. I think he forgot who walked. Was it you? No. Who walked? Fry. I think he forgot Ethan Fry walked. I think he thought the guy was just still on second base because there was only a guy. It was second base.
Yeah.
With no outs.
I'm gonna be honest.
He might have been trying
I think
to
he shit his
tag
pants.
third, yeah.
That's
I think he shit his pants. I actually saw somebody post something about this. There was 3 times during the season that runners were on 1st and 2nd that a ball forced him to his right that he tried to make that play. And that play probably wasn't even the furthest one that he went that way. I literally think he shit his pants. Like
Well,
I
yeah,
think
but-
he's
what I'm saying is that ground ball didn't even take him anywhere. He literally didn't even really move out of his spot.
That's my point. That's why I truly don't think that he forgot. I think he should. I think he brain farted and didn't realize what he should have been doing in that moment because the moment was big. And look, he's a really good player, like a really good player. But like that was so unorthodox. I find it so very hard to believe that he forgot there was a runner there. I think he thought, I'm moving this way, and this is such an easy play for me. Take the out so I don't make the mistake.
And maybe I'm saying that because as a freshman, he's not a freshman. I was on the bases. It was actually you're on first base. I did the exact same thing in the super regional. I was on second, nobody on first. Hey, don't run into the out at third base. So I'm in my head, don't run into the out, don't run into the out. Jared walks, gets to first. They hit the ball right. I played it perfectly. Shuffled. Don't go to third. Come back to second. Jared like, fuck. I forgot that he walked because I was so locked in on what I was supposed to do. That was my theory. I'm not saying it is what happened. That's the only reason I brought it up.
Yeah, I mean,
But anyway.
So that
Double play,
that play
yeah.
happens. Luis comes up, hits the shit out of that ball.
Hard
Left
That was
fielder.
pepper.
Top spinning into the twilight.
Yeah,
when you
right in
can't
front
see
of
the
you.
ball in a stadium that's already hard to see the ball. Like that.
Yeah.
That place is notorious for having misread balls, and I don't think he misread that ball. I think it was just that tough of a play.
Yep.
So I mean that happens, and then once we tied the game up, we're like, all right, we have all the
Yeah.
pieces. Like this goes into extras. Like Anthony could come into the game, Kaysen could come into the game, or probably not Kaysen.
Right.
Like Anthony could come in. Like we have all
And
these
everybody
bullpen
else,
pieces.
yeah.
And so we're like, all right, like this
This
could
is
go
all
to
we
the
need
sixth.
to
This
do.
could go to the 16th inning, and we're good. Like we feel confident about ourselves. And then it's like Jared's up, then Josh is up, then I'm up,
You're like, we're gonna win.
and they brought in the right-handed pitcher, and so I'm like, all right.
Was
Maybe-
it Gackle?
No, it was
No, who was the-
Jimenez, I believe.
It was Jimenez,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was Jimenez. That's right.
So they bring him in, and I'm like, all right, maybe they walk Bear right here. But then they pitch to him, so I'm like, all right, well, they're gonna pitch to him, but they're not gonna pitch to him because that's
Right.
the winning run. So I'm thinking in the back of my head, because I try to look ahead to, if I'm in this situation, I want to know
Right.
what I'm going to be going up against.
Yeah,
so,
don't do what Mikey did.
So it would be bases loaded, or no, it would be bases loaded, 2 outs. So the
outs.
same spot that I was in earlier
Bottom
in the
of
game.
ninth.
So the same spot that I'm in earlier in the game, and I'm like, yeah, get it to me.
Yeah.
Let's do it
You're
again.
ready.
Let's do it again. All I got to do is touch first base. So I'm thinking, all right, he's spinning sliders to Bear. He's walking him out that way, walking him out that way. They're okay with walking him. Josh had a hit off of this guy when we played him in conference play.
yeah.
So I'm like, well, Josh is going to get it done.
Yeah.
But then, so they're spinning slider, and I think Bear realizes what they're trying to do. And so he gets that slider that's just up enough that he can line
Yeah.
that way. And it was like seeing it in slow motion.
I bet, dude.
I'm standing there in the hole, so I have a pretty good view at it. And he swings. And it's like the whole thing just slowed down. It's almost like Moneyball. Slows down. And I'm looking at Coach, and Coach is like frozen a little bit. Like his hand's up, but he's
Yeah.
like frozen. So I start like slamming him because I see the ball bounce and it gets down. I'm like smacking the shit out of him. He might still have bruises to this day. But I was smacking the shit out of him. And I was like, oh my God, like that just happened. That's the coolest thing I've ever been
Yeah.
a part of.
That's
Yeah.
wild, dude. Because LSU obviously walk-off homer, Warren Morris back in the day, but Tommy White, walk-off, that walk-off, it feels like,
Cade Beloso in the top.
I mean,
Yeah.
big moments in the recent history of Omaha. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
crazy.
And not only that, but like you said, it's kind of been the calling card of the team all year, where it became, whether it was rain delay, whatever, but it always felt like that pop was coming, whether it be in the 6th, 7th, like you almost started to figure out what you were doing, and like the offense was going to come at some point. It always felt like, and then some teams would be like, or if you watch, you're just like, you can't get this lucky this often. It's like, well, sometimes like this might be who we are.
Yeah, I think that was like the motto of the team was that toughness and together piece. And the toughness was always there. It was like, I don't think it was luck as much as guys were so prepared and so willing to sacrifice and just lay it all out there. Like, we weren't going to leave any questions.
Y'all 9-3 in one-run games.
Yeah, and like that, the one-run readiness, that speaks to how tough this team
Yeah.
was. And I think if you look back at those 12 games, those were probably 12 of the most important games of the season.
No doubt. No doubt. I want to give you an opportunity to have there's a lot of things that happen offensively, walk-offs, big plays, guys on the mound. How important was Braswell's, I guess, defense for y'all, especially in the championship series, because he made that one-run game. He made some
Saved
plays
3 runs.
that probably saved the game.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's a testament, like I said, again, the toughness. He's obviously not having the season that he wants to at the plate. And like you played, what that can do to your head when you're in the field. And his ability to just lock in and be like, you know what, maybe I'm not putting the pieces together on offense right now, but I can save us some runs on defense, like you said. And he did just that. He played the best third base, not just in college baseball, but in baseball for these last 3 weeks of the season. And it's like you couldn't be any more happy for the guy, especially on that stage. Like he said a year ago or 2 years ago that when he came to LSU, it was to play in Omaha. And now he's there playing in Omaha. Maybe not what he dreamed of personally for his personal success, but he was a large factor in the reason that this team was so successful just because of the infield defense.
Well, and that's a credit to Jay, too, because the whole year, platoon, right? Righty pitcher, You got Reeves hitting, playing, starting, whatever. Championship series, all 3 righties are supposed to start. You're going to be playing third.
Mm-hmm.
You're not platooning. I don't care about the offense right now. The defense matters to us more than the offense. We're going to score enough runs, and that was
he was irreplaceable right there, 100%.
And it almost seemed like you shifted his focus almost to more of defense, because going to practice and seeing it, he was at third a ton, and he even had he talked to the media, whatever. He's like, I don't know how much I'll play. Whenever it's you want people to cheer for you when you come up, amidst the struggle, and he's like, they got 3 righties. I don't even know if I'll be in the lineup. But you could tell that if he put his effort defensively, that's this is my chance to get on the field. I'm not going to fuck that part up.
Yeah.
If I have to go 100% on defense, then I'll do that. And
Which I would say brings back to what we were talking about earlier with the pinch hitting thing. It's knowing your role, knowing what you can do to help the team be successful. And there wasn't anybody in college baseball that understood what they could do to help the team win than Michael Braswell.
Yeah,
I mean, just going out there day in, day out, putting his heart on the line for this team.
Yeah.
And it was something special to be a
And
part
you can
of.
look at every championship team that's ever come through here, and you look at somebody on that roster, and there's somebody on that roster, and you look at their average, why is this guy playing? It's because of the defensive side of it. We had a guy at third base when we did it, Derek Helenihi. It wasn't swinging the shit out of the bat, but he's same thing as Braswell, played great defense. You had Braswell this year. You had Milazzo in 23, right? Every team's got that guy that you have to have. He's irreplaceable because he brings something that nobody else does, and it was good to see him. When that happens, sometimes it doesn't come to fruition as far as you get to see it. It's not evident. It's just there. Okay, we won, but you got to see it, and it happened in a big moment.
It takes a lot to recognize somebody playing really good infield outside of the shortstop position. Mm-hmm. It takes something special for you to look at it and be like, that's one of the reasons we won the game.
Yeah,
and it happened for him.
It did for sure. Jay, you got another one?
Yeah, so Jake, I guess we can kind of keep this undisclosed if people don't know, but you and I know how we first met each other in person. Mm-hmm. You got a chance to be in Omaha that weekend. From that day, I'm sure it ran through your mind. Yeah, he's laughing. He remembers now. I'm sure it's ran through your mind, from that trip you had there, if I get a chance to win a natty, if I get a chance to dogpile, this is how I'm going to do it. So when one out happens, obviously, and I'm going to blame this on Jay because I don't remember where you were because of y'all doing so much defensive substituting and all this stuff. I really don't remember. But as you're going into that part of the ninth, you're playing it in your head, all right, if we get this thing done here, this is how I'm going to do it. Did it happen that way? And if it did, can you just play it out for me? What happened?
Yeah, I mean, my whole plan was that when that third out was made, I'm losing my glove because I don't want that to get all messed up. So I'm dropping the glove to the side and I'm just going full speed ahead. And
I'm fast.
Yeah, I'm fast. Like I talked about earlier on the show one time.
That's it. Fast guy on the team.
So the guy's at first with one out, and I'm in right field, and the ball gets hit. It gets hit to Danny, and he's about to turn the double play. And I just kind of froze because I'm like, oh, it's happening right now.
Yep.
This is it. This is everything is right now. And so it happens, and I kind of sat there for a little bit. I had to make sure this was happening. I see Chase throws his arms up. Monster throws his arms up. Jared's throwing his arms up, and I'm looking around. The place is going crazy, and I'm like, here we go. So I threw my glove, full sprint. It wasn't even a full dog pile yet. It was almost one guy started to fall, and then another guy was falling, and there's still a lot of people standing up.
Very gentle dog pile.
So I just jump on the top of it. I need the shit out of somebody in the back of the neck, and I still don't know who it is. But I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
I didn't mean to. It was just that was the spot that I had to go in.
The beauty of being the outfielder is you're always on top.
Well, you would think, but like I said, it wasn't exactly a dog pile yet.
Right.
So I go, and I'm on top, and then another guy comes on top, and another one, and that's kind of maybe cut that out. Maybe cut that out.
This is live.
We'll roll with it.
Yeah. So anyway,
there's a lot of guys on top of me, and it hurt.
And then you end up falling on the ground.
Yeah.
It's just, but it's a. Did you have? Now I can't. Now it's hard for me to pose this next question. Never mind, I can't say it.
Just ask it. Just ask it.
Was there whenever you get on the pod, like you have guys at the bottom there, like, get off, get off, get off.
Yes.
Were you one of those?
I wasn't one of those just because I was
bottom?
like, look, if this is what it takes, like, if this is what being in the dog pile is like, and this is what the whole year's led up to,
Come on.
I can.
If I die under here, I'm good.
Yeah, like I cannot breathe for 30 seconds. That'll be fine. But there were definitely like
I know he was trying to
Chase was at the bottom,
I
Luis
know
was
he
at the
doing.
bottom, and you could hear them like, get off. They're struggling.
It was like it manifested itself because it was Yalman got in there quickly and he started like almost protecting.
Can we talk about
shores.
him? He's got to have some of the most for one unsung hero running all the way from the dugout with the jug to go and pour it on Jared Jones after the walk off. That's a move.
That was impressive. That was a long run.
Yeah,
that was a long run for me.
Yeah, and he
I
had the jug in his
yeah.
hand.
That was impressive.
How's he? Is he a great dude? He seems like a great guy.
Yeah, awesome guy. Grinder. Glad that he's going to be back with us.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
No, I'm
okay.
just saying, yeah, I mean, you never know what'll happen, but glad that he's going to be back with us. He's going to be a big part of next year's team, I think.
Love
And
that.
he was a big part of this year's team as far as just like
Bring
Well,
the
you could tell,
personality.
dude. He's always on the top step.
he's on the top step. Like he's not playing. He knows he has a redshirt year this year, but he's helping the team win. He's getting tips from the pitchers. He's getting signs from the coaches. Like that's a guy that was completely sold out to doing
love
what
that.
it took.
Gotta
And I mean,
have
you
that.
could see like the dude loves being at the baseball field. Y'all could
Yeah.
see with all the turtle box stuff, all the stuff pregame. Like he had a good time every day that he was there, knowing that he was around the group of guys that he was around, and he knew what we were going to do.
But it's so easy for some people to go like the other way.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'm not playing, I'm not really invested.
No
What
doubt.
does it do for me? And it's like, or you could go the exact opposite way and be like, this is gonna be fun every day.
Like if I'm not gonna play, at least I'm gonna have a good time.
Yeah, right, exactly.
absolutely,
If
and
I
that's
have
what
to
he
be
did.
here,
Yeah.
let's make it a good time.
Let's go win a ring.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out after the season.
Yeah, same like Guidry assumed that role too after he gets injured, and then it becomes like be real easy for him to be like, this fucking sucks. Like I came here to pitch, I wanted to be a starter, now I'm not even playing. He goes the exact opposite way of like Turtle Box guy.
Yeah, he was turtle box guy. He's like our second analytics guy.
You can see he was literally on the coach's bench the whole time, like jotting down notes, talking.
Yeah, he's like another coach in the dugout
Yeah.
as well as still a teammate. He's hyping us up, like incredible.
Incredible.
That's
how
how you win championships.
That's exactly
Yeah,
how you win
it takes
championships.
everybody. People don't realize that it takes every single person.
Yeah, I think Fry said that he like hit 3 homers because of what Guidry told him.
I believe it. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, he did say, "Hey, look for this pitch." Yeah, no doubt. One of the most athletic feats that you accomplished all year was your leap into the stands. Let me ask you this: did you see your friend in the game, knew he was there, or did you see him after when you're running? It was the spur of the moment.
Or was it even
No,
your friend?
No, yeah, it's my friend. But it was literally during the celebration. We're walking around the field, we're high-fiving everybody, and he's kind of a short guy.
Yeah.
So he was hard to see, but he was like leaning over the rail
Yeah.
to like make himself known. I'm like, oh my God, he's right there. So I start climbing up the wall. Like I jump, start cramping up because of how hot it is and how long the game was. So I'm like cramping up. Eventually, I just like hand him my arm, and he pulls me up the rest of the way. So I got up there, gave him a huge bear hug. I mean, I knew that he was in Omaha. Didn't know where he was at the game.
Right.
But that was awesome. And then he came to the celebration with us afterwards. It's the best. Like full circle. Like played travel ball with him from I don't even know how long.
Yeah, that's the to me, when you win something like that, like it's awesome when you have like your brothers and your teammates and all that stuff, right? Like that's you celebrate with that.
Look at him pulling me up.
Yeah,
That's
Look at that.
amazing.
You were kind of on death's door there for a second.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was the cramp. I wasn't doing good.
Oh man! And then you go celebrate with your boys, like your teammates, and then you see childhood friends, family, all these
Absolutely.
people that were a big part of your career before you got to LSU, and it's an awesome moment to be able, especially when you see them like that and it's not expected.
Yeah, I mean that's what makes playing here special,
Yeah.
especially being from Louisiana. Like I have friends that are always nearby, family is always nearby, and I have the family here and I have the family that I play with every day.
Correct.
And it's like it's almost gotten to the point now where there's no bridge between the two.
100%.
And it's incredible, and it's something that I'm forever going to be grateful for.
We had. Did you have a lot of like hecklers? Like, did they have a lot of? So like LSU obviously takes over the stadium, right? But in 09 we played Texas. This goes to show you like your friends and like people. And so the Texas fans in the outfield, I was playing center, and they're like big contingency right behind me, talking shit to me the whole game, left,
Matthew
right.
McConaughey.
At this point, I was 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts.
Wearing it.
Our IV in my arm, like not doing anything great. Well, then we end up tying the game, in the ninth, and they were giving me shit and still in center field. Well, my buddy, I didn't know he was in the outfield, saw it, went over there and brought an entire section of LSU fans right in center field. And it was like, this is just – that really only happens to LSU.
Yeah. I mean, in Charles Schwab, you can't really hear anything that anybody's saying.
Yeah.
Because the fans are kind of off the field a little bit. So they're not very close. But everything was purple and gold.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I always do a thing, like, whenever there's outs or whatever, I do the outs. And I'm so used to being at home, I just turn around – remind the student section how many outs there are because it's hard for them to keep up sometimes. So I always do that, and then it's nice. Like I turned around in Omaha the first time I did it, and they were all doing it back to me like the student section does. So I was like, "Oh, dude, I'm chilling. Like there's no heckling. Yeah.
This is
it wasn't like playing on the road at Mississippi State.
Well, sometimes that's great too, though.
It's fun
to get heckled.
It's fun. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Just because I know that if I was them, I'd be doing the exact same thing.
100%. Jay, you got another one?
Well, I got one real quick.
Okay.
Real quick.
Yeah, I want to ask, kind of want you to expound on that a little bit. Because I think people kind of just think, unless you actually get a chance to go there, I think a lot of people just think that we just kind of say that and it's not like really a thing. But like day in and day out that you guys are actually showing up to the ballpark, how wild is it seeing how much purple and gold is there every time?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, because it's supposed to be a neutral playing site. You're all the way in Omaha, Nebraska, so no one's really close.
Right.
And then we're there, and we walk in game one against Arkansas, and we're looking around, and there's a lot of purple and there's a lot of red. Like, that was a packed game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, like, our fans, just the noise almost like radiated through the stadium. And then you get to the UCLA game, and it's a rain delay after there's a lot of people there. Come back the next day, we're playing at 10 in the morning, there's a bunch of purple and gold there. We're like, dude, we would still be asleep right now if we weren't playing. And then it gets later, you get to the second Arkansas game, and it's triple the amount of purple than there is red.
Yeah.
And you're looking around.
To the last series.
And then you get to the last series, and it's us and Coastal. And it's like, I didn't know if they had the section of the Coastal family parents. Besides that, it was purple and gold.
Yeah.
And it was kind of freakish because there was 25,000 people there.
Right.
And you're like, 25,000 people came to Omaha for this.
Yeah.
And it's a 14-hour drive from Baton Rouge.
And not an easy flight.
No, not at all.
Yeah, then
I'm sure you talked to some people. I personally talked to multiple people that told me they drove through the night just to get back for the championship series. And some of them had been there earlier on in the series as well. So, like the LSU fan base, you travel well. And the city of Omaha loves when LSU is in town, and that's a part of the big purple and gold you get as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our fan base, it's great people, but also it's that 25,000 people, at least that's the ones that can get into the game, are coming from Baton Rouge. So, I mean, the city of Omaha is making a lot of money. They're all happy. And then, at least from the interactions that I had with the fans in Omaha, I mean, everyone seems super nice and super respectful.
Yeah. No, it's a great place, good people. Lloyd, you got one.
Oh, yeah. I've got one from the chat. You kind of touched on it a little bit, but it asked Jake from Cajun Curveball. $9.99. I guess that's NIL money for you. Which game did he feel the fans were the loudest for? Arkansas's outnumbered LSU for game one, but did the team feed off the fielder? Did the team feed off or field the support? How was the blat? Thanks for the clutch hit.
Also,
I can't write for other people.
But also, I don't know if Arkansas outnumbered
They
them.
did for game one.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it was kind of bizarre. But LSU was louder.
Yeah, I was about to say, you wouldn't have noticed.
No, but there was a lot. Like, I was surprised. Like, damn, there's a ton of Arkansas people here.
Okay.
But no.
You were there. I was not.
Yeah.
So.
Boots on the ground.
Yeah, no, you can definitely feel the support of the fans. It's like a different energy. And then, like, a walk-off hit happens or something like that, or the hit before.
Or a coach gets ejected in the first inning.
when the coach got ejected in the
that
first
should
inning.
not have happened, but we're not gonna
But did you not feel like that? It almost felt like a very early like knockout punch from just the fans, because all the LSU fans were like, okay, we're on their neck. Mm-hmm. And then you could feel kind of like the momentum change, even though there was no momentum to change yet. It just felt like they were out.
Yeah, I mean, it gave the fans something to go crazy about, and it's only the first inning, so I was like,
10 pitches.
From that point forward, anything that happens, it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
Jay, you got one? I didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't know if you had one before I cut you off. I don't want to put you on the spot.
No, you didn't cut me off.
That's my bad. Okay.
Did I cut him off?
No, but I do have a question. So we talked about this off air. When we won it was nighttime. And it had to reopen bars so that when y'all won it was daytime. So you had a long time to celebrate, right? And Omaha is a lot more developed as far as the bar scenes and hanging out than it was back in the day. Talk about the celebration. The boys had a good time?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great time. There's not a lot to be down about in that
No
certain
doubt.
moment. So, guys lived it up. I mean, we enjoyed it. We went to Blatt's,
Yeah.
and I mean, big thanks to them because they got us a VIP section up there where we could hang out with our guys. Like, it wasn't like we were being bombarded and swarmed or anything. But super thankful for them. I mean, great night, great people around us, and
Yeah, make that pitch for next year.
Well, and
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
and part of the celebration,
That's
which
what
is
I-
a perfect segue, part of the celebration are our good friends at Bocock Brothers Cigars. LSUcigars.com. Get the celebratory box. Obviously, we don't have the updated backdrop, but you're going to have it. Cigars of Champions.
Yeah.
Lloyd almost got you in trouble from what I was told. He took the cigars on the field, kept giving it to you, and you kept trying to light it, and they wouldn't let you light them on the
No,
field.
he got one lit.
I got one lit. I know that. I got one lit, and then before we walked on the stage and actually got our trophies, they were like, everybody needs to put out the cigars because we had a bunch of guys walking around with them.
I wonder how that happened.
Yeah, no, I have no idea. But they said we had to put them out for that. So we were a little pissed off, but we put them out
and then relit them.
and then got into the locker room and relit them, which I
Yeah.
don't know if we were supposed to do, but we did.
Whatever.
And then obviously they provided us with boxes and stuff
Yeah.
for later on. So I mean,
Great cigars, aren't they?
yeah, they're solid.
They're just kind of smooth. You don't feel like an ashtray.
Yeah, no, they're solid.
They
And
taste
then
good.
Feel fine the next day too.
You feel great the next day.
Yeah.
Because you're a champion.
Championship Cigars. LSUcigars.com. Check out. When you check out, type in Mik'd up 15 in the promo code. You get 15% off.
And a personal meet and greet with Jake Brown.
Yeah, absolutely.
house
Yeah,
and
sign
deliver
it
it.
up. Let's do it.
Yeah, he'll be at Walk-Ons this weekend.
$20, you can take whatever picture you want with them too.
And we
Yeah.
got to smoke cigars though.
Gotta
Yeah,
smoke
not
the
in.
cigars. And it'll be like Walk-Ons this Saturday here in Burbank, off of Burbank.
Relive the dog pile.
Maybe he's there, maybe he's not. Surprise. Just gotta show. But you have to get Bocock Brothers cigars before you go.
Yeah.
Mikey will be there if I'm not.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, I'll be in New Orleans.
Of course.
Come find me over there.
I'll be there. I'll do it.
Well, dude, I know you gotta get on the road. You gotta get back to the house. Appreciate you as always. Dude.
Always.
This
yeah,
was
fun for me.
Yeah, this is always a treat for us. Like you said, we get a whole another year with you, which I'm happy.
Yeah, I'll be back
Because we get
Next time you'll text me, I'll be here.
See, and that's what I'll give you some time over the summer. Right, we got a couple months. Live it up, enjoy it. Enjoy being with the family, your friends. Do whatever you gotta do.
Only 24 more hours before the portal hits. You got to get ready.
Hey,
Yeah,
Jake,
no, I'm gonna
real
have to click
quick,
that.
quick
I'm gonna have
question.
to click the arms, get my name in there while I can, I guess.
Hey, quick question. Seriously, when do you get back to the grind? Like, how long you taking off? What are you doing? Like, what you got going?
That's a good question.
I'm lifting right now. I mean, yeah, I took probably a week just to let
Yeah.
my body refuel, like get a bunch of water in me, all that stuff, and then started working
Water,
out.
huh?
I really did. I
No,
really did.
you probably feel better working out. Like
Yeah,
you probably if you
absolutely.
don't work out, you probably feel like you feel worse off.
Yeah, I feel like
that's
I'm
what
just
we do,
wasting
water,
my day if
huh?
I'm not
Okay.
working out. But so I got back to that. I mean, this drive's gonna suck because I crushed a leg workout. Now
Oof.
it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
But so that's gonna happen. I mean,
Look,
I'll
this
be
gas
back to
station,
work.
get a water.
How's
Get a water to go.
That water
Yeah, get
bubble up a
water.
little bit?
Water
or
for the
not?
drive.
Not really?
Yeah, I was going to say, how's the bladder? Are we having pit stops? Are you a
Jeez.
holder or a peer?
Nah, I mean it's only a 2-hour drive, so I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I got that.
Yeah. Pee before you go, and you're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you could do less miles, put a catheter in.
Is that true?
Uh-huh.
I don't think that was true.
I just don't understand how we got to this point. I just,
Yeah,
I
that's,
don't get
well,
it.
Lloyd, that's a Lloyd move.
I just don't get. I just
yeah.
don't get that.
Let's let Jake get on the road. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be back in Baton Rouge for good on the 7th of July, I believe. That's when I'm.
Oh,
here.
nice. So just a little break, and you'll be hanging out.
Yeah, a
all
little
summer.
break, and then I'll be all here just working out, doing
Oh, yeah.
stuff, meeting the new guys.
We'll get you back on.
Sweet, yeah.
Yeah, over the summer.
I'll
Hell yeah,
weekly.
be part of the
Might as
show.
well, yeah.
No doubt. You have all the downtime in the world. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna work out at 7 p.m.
Got to get in after the Halloween. After Halloween, that's when I came freshman year.
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
y'all were raiding me about trying to give away answers to our Halloween party.
that's right. That's right. That's right. We'll
No,
get you.
we'll get him out of you this year.
Yeah, we'll
right
get.
now.
No, it's look
Yeah,
Halloween party. Baseball Halloween parties. It's
Used
legendary.
to-
It's legendary.
Used to be a
Yeah.
tradition like any other. Just
It's
like
like
I'll come on, talk
old number
fall ball,
8.
talk football.
Yeah, we
that's
talk
what
it
I'll
all. We talk it all. Again, good. Congratulations, dude. Fired up for you. Fired up for the boys. Enjoy being home, and we'll have you back on here soon.
do. Thank you, absolutely.
You're the best.